When you turn 60 and beyond, a very important question starts to surface: who will truly stand by your side? When you're younger, the answer feels simple. Of course, it's your family, your closest friends, the people you've known for decades. You assume that when life gets hard, they'll be there. And for many years, that belief feels solid. But after 60, reality begins to look a little different. Life shifts. People get busier. Your children are focused on their own careers, their own households, their own financial responsibilities. Friends relocate. Priorities change. And slowly, you may start to notice something uncomfortable. The support system you always counted on may not be as reliable as you once believed. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's not about pushing family away. It's about understanding something deeper. Real stability in your later years must be built, not assumed. In today's video, we're going to talk about 6 essential pillars that often become more dependable than family as you age. These pillars are not replacements for love or relationships. Instead, they are foundations, structures that protect you from feeling vulnerable, helpless, or unprepared when life throws unexpected challenges your way. If you build these 6 pillars, you gain something incredibly powerful: security and independence. And by the end of this video, the way you think about support may completely change. Let's begin with pillar number 1. Pillar 1, your financial stability. The most reliable support you will ever have isn't a person. It's your financial independence. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, we all know that. But what it does provide is security, freedom, and peace of mind. And after 60, those 3 things become more valuable than ever. Relying on family for financial help is not a strategy. It's a risk. Your children may love you deeply. They may want to help. But they also have mortgages, tuition payments, healthcare costs, and unexpected expenses of their own. Even with the best intentions, they may not be in a position to step in when you need it most. Imagine Richard, a 72-year-old man who always believed his children would be there financially if anything went wrong. He helped pay for their college. He lent money when they were starting out. He was generous and supportive. But when an unexpected medical emergency drained his savings, he turned to his children, only to discover they were barely managing their own financial pressures. It wasn't that they didn't care. It was that life is unpredictable. That moment changed everything for him. Financial stability is one of the strongest pillars you can build, not because it makes you wealthy, but because it makes you prepared. It means having an emergency fund. It means creating reliable retirement income. It means understanding your expenses. It means minimizing unnecessary financial risk. If you're in your 60s or beyond, ask yourself honestly: do I have enough saved to handle unexpected medical costs? Is my retirement income stable? Have I reduced debt as much as possible? Do I understand exactly where my money goes each month? If any of these questions make you uncomfortable, that's not a reason to panic, it's a reason to act. Learn to budget carefully. Avoid high-risk investments you don't fully understand. Simplify your finances. Protect what you've worked your whole life to build. Because at the end of the day, your financial security will stand beside you when circumstances change. And it doesn't depend on anyone else's availability. Pillar 2, your physical health. There's one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or family support can replace: your health. After 60, your body either becomes your greatest ally or your greatest limitation. You can have financial stability, a loving family, and strong friendships. But if your health declines, your independence shrinks with it. Family cannot exercise for you. They cannot eat healthy on your behalf. They cannot undo years of neglect. They cannot prevent aging. That responsibility belongs entirely to you. Too many people assume that when they get older, someone will simply take care of them. But even the most devoted family members have limits. They have jobs, children, responsibilities, and their own health to manage. Depending entirely on others for daily care can quietly erode your sense of dignity and control. Consider Carl, a 68-year-old who had been active in his younger years. After retirement, he slowed down. Then he stopped exercising altogether. He told himself he would get back into shape later. But later never came. His energy dropped. His mobility decreased. Simple tasks became exhausting. His children visited when they could, but they couldn't be there every day. Eventually, Carl realized something powerful. If he wanted to maintain his independence, he had to take responsibility now, not next year, not someday. You don't have to train like an athlete. You don't need extreme routines. But consistency matters. Walk every day. Stretch regularly. Strength train lightly to protect muscle mass. Eat foods that nourish instead of inflame. Schedule regular checkups. Take small warning signs seriously. Those aches you keep ignoring? That fatigue you dismiss as just aging? Those changes in balance or mobility? They are signals. Your future self will thank you for every healthy decision you make today. Because the truth is simple, the stronger and healthier you remain, the less you will need to rely on others. And independence is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. If you're still watching and this resonates with you, comment number 2 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and turn on the bell so you don't miss future videos. Now let's continue. Pillar 3, your social circle. One of the most common mistakes people make as they age is slowly withdrawing from the world. It doesn't happen overnight. A friend moves away. Another passes on. Your daily routine becomes quieter. Phone calls become less frequent. Before you know it, your social circle has become much smaller than you ever imagined. And loneliness after 60 is not just emotional, it's physical. Research shows it can impact cognitive health, immunity, and even lifespan. Many people assume family will fill that gap. But here's the truth, your children cannot be your only source of companionship. They have their own lives unfolding. They may love you deeply, but they cannot be available every day. That's why your social network becomes one of your most powerful pillars. Friendships, community groups, neighbors, clubs, faith communities, activity groups, even online communities. These are not luxuries. They are necessities. Take Margaret, 73 years old. She relied heavily on her 2 sons for company. As their careers and families grew, visits became less frequent. She found herself waiting for calls that didn't always come. Then she made a decision. She joined a local community group, reconnected with old friends, picked up a hobby she had abandoned years ago. Her world expanded again. Conversations returned. Laughter returned. Purpose returned. She stopped waiting and started building. A strong social circle provides emotional nourishment. It reminds you that you are valued. It keeps your mind active. It gives you perspective. Ask yourself honestly, who in my life brings me energy? Who do I regularly connect with outside my family? When was the last time I made a new friend? If those answers feel unclear, it may be time to expand your circle. Because companionship is not about dependency, it's about shared humanity. And the stronger your network becomes now, the more supported you'll feel in the years ahead. Pillar 4, your sense of purpose. One of the most overlooked sources of strength after 60 isn't another person. It's your sense of purpose. For decades, your identity may have been tied to roles. You were a professional, a provider, a parent, a caregiver, a problem solver. Your schedule was full. Your responsibilities were clear. People needed you. Then slowly, those roles begin to change. Retirement happens. Children grow independent. Daily demands quiet down. And without realizing it, you might start to feel less necessary. That's where many people struggle. Because family can love you deeply, but they cannot hand you purpose. That has to come from within. Without purpose, days can begin to blur together. Motivation fades. Mental sharpness dulls. You may feel like you're watching life instead of participating in it. Now think about George, a 70-year-old retired engineer. When he first left his career, he was excited. No alarms. No deadlines. No stress. But after a few months, something felt off. He wasn't tired, he was restless. His days lacked structure. His sense of contribution was gone. His children visited occasionally, but they were busy building their own lives. So George made a decision. He began volunteering at a local school, teaching kids how to build simple mechanical projects. What started as a small commitment became something much bigger. He woke up energized again. He felt useful again. He felt seen again. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be mentoring someone, learning a new skill, starting a small business, volunteering, gardening, writing, traveling with intention, setting personal fitness goals, teaching others what you've learned over a lifetime. Purpose keeps your mind engaged. It stabilizes your emotions. It gives direction to your energy. And here's the key, purpose evolves. It doesn't disappear with age. It changes form. If you've been feeling like your most meaningful years are behind you, that belief is more dangerous than aging itself. Because when you stop seeking purpose, you begin to shrink emotionally. When you pursue purpose, you expand. And when you build a life filled with intention, you rely less on others to fill emotional gaps. If this resonates with you, comment number 4 below so I know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do that and turn on the bell so you never miss future videos. Pillar 5, your emotional resilience. Life does not stop testing you after 60. In many ways, the challenges simply change shape. You may lose close friends. You may experience the passing of a spouse. Health concerns may arise. Relationships may shift. You may feel waves of loneliness you never expected. No matter how much support you receive, the most consistent source of strength will always come from within. Your emotional resilience. This is your ability to process grief, to adapt to disappointment, to recover from setbacks, to find peace even when circumstances aren't ideal. Many people unconsciously rely on family to be their emotional anchor. They assume their children or siblings will always be available to comfort them. But everyone carries their own burdens. They may not always have the time or emotional capacity to hold yours. That's why resilience is such a powerful pillar. Let's talk about Helen. At 75, she lost her husband of 40 years. The grief was overwhelming. In the beginning, she leaned heavily on her children. They called. They visited. They supported her. But as time passed, their lives continued moving forward. They had responsibilities, careers, children of their own. Helen realized something important. She couldn't expect them to heal her pain. So she made a choice. She joined a grief support group. She began journaling every morning. She practiced daily gratitude, even when it felt difficult. She allowed herself to feel sadness without shame. Over time, she discovered something empowering. She had the strength to move forward, not because the pain disappeared, but because she learned how to carry it. Emotional resilience is not about pretending to be strong. It's not about suppressing tears or ignoring pain. It's about developing tools to process emotions in a healthy way. That might mean therapy, meditation, faith practices, physical activity, creative expression, honest conversations, time in nature. When you cultivate resilience, you stop waiting for someone else to stabilize you. You become your own steady ground. And that inner stability becomes one of the most reliable forms of support you will ever have. Because no matter where you go, you bring yourself with you. Pillar 6, your ability to adapt. If there's one universal truth about life after 60, it's this. Nothing stays the same. People change. Technology evolves. Health shifts. Communities transform. Circumstances move in directions you didn't anticipate. The people who struggle most with aging are often the ones who resist change, who cling tightly to the way things used to be. But the people who thrive? They adapt. Adaptability is not about giving up your values or identity. It's about staying flexible in how you navigate life. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, they are set in their ways. But that mindset can quietly limit growth. Let's look at Frank. At 78, many of his closest friends had moved away or passed on. For years, his social life depended entirely on in-person gatherings. When those gatherings stopped, he felt isolated. At first, he told himself, this is just what happens when you get older. But then he asked a different question, what if I can adjust? Frank learned how to use video calls. He joined an online history discussion group. He started attending virtual lectures. He reconnected with distant relatives he hadn't spoken to in years. Instead of shrinking his world, he expanded it. Adaptability allowed him to remain connected. The people who flourish after 60 aren't always the wealthiest or the healthiest. Often, they are simply the most open. They stay curious. They explore new ideas. They are willing to learn. They accept when a door closes and look for another one. If a relationship changes, they adjust. If their physical abilities shift, they find alternative activities. If technology evolves, they learn just enough to stay engaged. Adaptability transforms uncertainty into opportunity. It replaces fear with curiosity. And when you become adaptable, you stop feeling like life is happening to you and start feeling like you are still actively shaping it. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, type 6 in the comments below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Now, let's bring everything together. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Reaching 60 and beyond is not the end of strength, it's a new chapter of awareness. By this stage of life, you've gathered wisdom. You've survived challenges. You've built relationships. You've experienced victories and losses. You understand life in a way you simply couldn't at 30 or 40. But with that wisdom also comes a new reality. You begin to see clearly that while family will always hold a special place in your heart, the most reliable support system you will ever have is the one you build within and around yourself. Let's quickly revisit these 6 pillars and understand why they matter so much. Your financial stability ensures that you never have to depend on someone else to survive. It gives you choices. It protects your dignity. It allows you to handle emergencies without panic. Money may not solve every problem, but financial preparedness removes a tremendous amount of fear. Your physical health determines whether you can maintain independence. When you can move freely, think clearly, and care for yourself, you preserve something priceless: autonomy. The stronger your body and mind remain, the less you'll feel like a burden and the more empowered you'll feel in daily life. Your social circle keeps your world alive. Conversations, laughter, shared experiences, these aren't small things. They keep your brain active. They stabilize your mood. They remind you that you matter. Isolation shrinks life, but connection expands it. Your sense of purpose gives your days meaning. Without purpose, time can feel empty. With purpose, every morning has direction. It doesn't matter whether that purpose is volunteering, learning, mentoring, creating, or exploring. What matters is that you feel engaged. Your emotional resilience allows you to face loss, disappointment, and unexpected change without collapsing. It's your internal anchor. Life will continue to test you, but resilience ensures that you bend instead of break. And finally, your ability to adapt keeps you growing. The world will continue to evolve. Technology will advance. Relationships will shift. Your body will change. Adaptability allows you to flow with these changes instead of fighting them. When these 6 pillars are strong, something powerful happens. You stop feeling powerless. You stop waiting for someone to rescue you. You stop fearing every unexpected turn. Instead, you move through life with quiet confidence. This doesn't mean you won't ever need help. Of course you will. We all do. But there's a big difference between occasionally receiving support and completely depending on it. True stability comes from knowing that even if circumstances change, you are prepared. Many people enter their later years hoping others will step in if needed. But hope is not a strategy. Preparation is. And preparation doesn't happen overnight. It's built through small, consistent decisions. Saving a little more. Moving your body daily. Reaching out to a friend. Trying something new. Processing emotions honestly. Staying curious instead of rigid. Each small action strengthens one of your pillars. Over time, those pillars form a foundation so solid that even when life shakes, you remain standing. There's something deeply empowering about that. It changes how you see aging. Instead of viewing it as decline, you begin to see it as refinement. You refine your habits. You refine your relationships. You refine your priorities. You refine your mindset. And in doing so, you create a life that feels stable, not because everything around you is predictable, but because you are grounded. If you're watching this right now and you're over 60 or approaching it, this is not a warning. It's an invitation. An invitation to take ownership. An invitation to strengthen what you can control. An invitation to build a life where you feel secure, capable, and connected, regardless of what others are doing. And if you're younger and watching this, consider it an early blueprint. The sooner you begin building these pillars, the stronger they'll be when you truly need them. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 pillars do you feel strongest in right now? And which one needs more attention? Leave a comment below and share one insight you're taking away from today's video. Your experiences might inspire someone else who's going through the same stage of life. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss future content. Your support allows us to continue creating videos that inform, encourage, and empower. Aging is not about losing support. It's about redefining it. When you build financial stability, protect your health, nurture meaningful relationships, live with purpose, strengthen emotional resilience, and remain adaptable, you'll discover something incredible. You were never as dependent as you thought. The strongest support system has been within you all along. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I truly appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.